Every day I hustle,
all the time. Party low. It's part of me.
Every day I hustle,
All the time. Party low.
every day I hustle,
All the time. Party low. It's part of me.
every day I hustle,
All the time. Party low. It's part of me.
Every day I hustle,
All the time. Party low. It's part of me. All the time. Party low. It's part of me.
All right. What's up, everyone? What's up? What's up? All right. It has been a while. It's been, I want to say, 2 months now that we have I haven't been able to be online. I've been having to deal with a bunch of stuff right now. Give me 1 second while I set up. I can't post anything in a Discord because that's not a thing for me at the momento. Momento. It is not a thing at the moment. So, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Toxic Hustle. My name is Jay Tragic Jeffrey. I wanted to do an update today. I have been trying to get things in order. It has been quite a ride, to say the least. Let me get my notes up so that I can be up. Okay. All right, there we go. All right. So I hope everyone is well. So what we're going to discuss is what's been the heck up the last 2 months. Where have I poofed and vamoosed? And give you some updates as to, for those that have purchased. Again, I thank you. I'm actually going to be releasing information this week. In the next, give me till Wednesday, and you'll receive an email with the new system that has been up. I've had to go around the world and had to figure out how do I build a web application that can be interactive enough that it's usable when you're starting to work with your agents, because having a big book of stuff, like a big library of text, a wall of words, just wasn't helpful. Because when I was looking for stuff and I was like, I know there's this prompt that I want, and I can't get to it, or I don't know what section it is. It wasn't searchable. So I made a decision to put my head down, get as much data as I could as to which applications were out here, and trying to build a web app using like a bunch of damn tools, like at least 35 different tools I went through. Ended up coming back to WordPress, but using a bricks template and being able to treat it as a remote database using automation, which we'll be talking about. Also, I'm going to be talking about clientele, because over the last 2 months, I've locked in on how to begin to use artificial intelligence to actually get clients. Like, not the stuff that these people have been talking about online and the BS, but actual clients. Hey, Mean Gene, it's good to see you, man. Good to see you. I'm glad that things are going well with it. Like I said, I had to kind of pull myself out because for those of y'all that don't know, I have a mother with Alzheimer's, right? And I immediately was told costs when we were doing her legal stuff, her paperwork. I was told costs of how much it's going to balloon as the disease takes on more of a deeper role. Thankfully, the last few years she's held steady. There hasn't been any real serious decline, which is a blessing. She's in her element, being because she was a nurse. She's around, like, she's always looking for a patient, and now she has that. She has a way to have the patients she's looking for, and be in an environment where she feels like she can be helpful. Living with your son and him trying to get work done, or having to stream or do anything when you've got somebody that's being fidgety or needs to be fed, or sunsetting, or you have to put gates up to try to block their movement, and then they're still asking you questions after they've asked you a question. You learn just how debilitating it can be to be a caregiver to your own mental stability and well-being, and to whatever business you're trying to run, because you really can't run it effectively when you're thinking every 5 minutes, how do I take care of this individual who needs care? Like, I have to take care of her, not because I have to, but I want to. She's my mom. So I've got to do the right thing, right? So I have to be able to take on those costs, and those costs can balloon up to $100,000 a year. And we already know inflation is crazy, and we already know what's going on with businesses. If we, as we're watching what's going on in this damn world in real time, there has to come a point where, at least for me, and y'all in the cash lane have known and have heard me say over and over since 2017. Well, actually, no, I'll say 2021. Since 2021, I've been sitting there saying, yo, the same things. And I've been trying to be as direct because I'm in the thick of this. What people are feeling right now, y'all, what people are feeling now, I felt 2016 December when I told my now wife, I don't know if I'm going to have a job next year as a web developer, because I don't think businesses are going to need web development anymore. Not to hire somebody to sit there all day to develop websites. And then I was watching what's going on with the search engine. I'm watching AI gobble up the back end of searches, making it more personalized. But then at some point I said they'll break it. And what we're seeing now is the same thing in search. We're seeing it break. And I've talked about when we were going through the 2020 to 2021 crypto run, right? I said to y'all, I told y'all when it was time to get the hell out in December of 2021. I was like, I'm out, need to get out, crypto winter's coming. And the reason why Bitcoin didn't get to where it needed to get to was finances. We don't know, the last of the stimmy checks were gone. So that whole crypto run was all about stimulus. That's what we learned all together in the cash land. That is what we learned. One of the biggest lessons in the freaking tribe, and one of the biggest points I've been trying to make recently, that what I've learned from our clan is you're going to have to solve for who cares. It doesn't matter how we feel about a technology, business, friends, and family plans. Doesn't matter. If we're in this world, what we're going to have to at some point account for is who cares. And that's what we learned in the tribe. And anything past that lesson won't make sense. No, I'm not permanently off Discord. I actually have my own Discord room. I will be opening it up. Again, it will be specific, and I'll show y'all right now. I'm not trying to remake Musical Geniuses. I was trying to put what was going to be in my own Discord, which I've had this one since 2017. When I made a decision to get into crypto in 2017, I made my own room so I could have my own Discord. And then what I was going to do is, as you can see from here, I've got Toxic Tech. Hold on, I'm trying to get over to my other, here we go. Toxic Tech, about the grind. So what's going on in business, and what's going on in music, what's going on in visuals, because video and the making of video, like every canister I was trying to work in was, hey, I see a significant change in how media is going to be made. I've saw that since 2000, right? Since 1999 going to 2000. I saw the transition. I say, oh shit, music's about to change. Oh, we can be our own magazines. We don't need the Source Mag no more because we can have a website and we can put that out. I said that years ago. I said, oh, we're going to end up being able to broadcast for ourselves. So we're going to need to start looking out for these distributors that are out here that are doing what they're doing and being able to get us on things like Beats Music and Spotify. And then here comes all these companies. I chose CD Baby. And now you're looking at royalties for you're looking at 85 to 90% of your royalties in streaming. So what I've been trying to do is I see where business is going. I see where this transition and where we're going to move to, where we're shifting to. And what I've been trying to do is stay the course. Hey, y'all, if you had me earlier in your visual range to be able to tell you, hey, these changes are coming, these changes are coming, these changes are coming. Like my homeboys, I told them when I made the transition to going to web development, I was like, for at least 5 to 10 years, this is going to be a thing where we're going to be able to develop websites. It's still a thing. It's just not as relevant because Google is eating up the top of the page. Google's eating up their search engine with AI. So that front page of Google already, depending on what you're searching, that top page of Google is already getting lopped off. And by the end of this year, they're talking about the full page will be locked down to AI. So when you go to Google, you're not going for the Google search now. You'll be going there to talk to its AI. I definitely will, me, Gene. I'll send it to you. Hit me up on my Discord handle. Let me show you my Discord handle. Let me see if I can just paste it in. Hit me up on my Discord handle. Because I'm not open yet, and I'm still setting up the automations. They'll be ready by Wednesday. I think that's it. Oh, wait, maybe not. Shite. Go here. Damn it. Da, 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 da. Do, 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 do. Let me see. Did I ever... Here is my that is my Discord. Yep, that is my Discord handle. I think you can at me. Like I said, I don't have it open yet, but I will just. I'll announce something, and I'll probably just follow me on Twitter. Twitter/tragic, same spelling, and I'll hit you up there. All right, so let me get back on this screen. All right. So, as I've been saying for the last few years, I've been saying automation is coming. I've been saying the direction that all of these businesses are going to head towards. They're going to head towards removing people, and they're going to head towards ballastering that out with artificial intelligence. This is the year that begins. And what does that look like? What are they looking for? I've actually been pulling clients left and right now, and the narrative is kind of simplistic, but at the same time, it's also it's easy to see. The biggest thing that they don't really even understand is that most of these businesses do not understand that they are inefficient. They don't even know how inefficient they are, right? And this is, again, if we go back in time, remember Elon Musk left California, Virtue Signal. What did all the businesses do? What was the next one? Delaware, right? Oh, we're going to Delaware, Virtue Signal. Oh, I'm going to bring it to Texas, Virtue Signal. So now all of these companies leaving Delaware, leaving California, all of those Virtue Signals. Oh, I'm going to have my own social platform, Virtue Signal. Now everybody's looking at communication and trying to get into communication games. The latest Virtue Signal is, here's Elon going into a company, corporation, i.e., the US government, and being able to find the inefficiencies that are going on and the money being lost or being misspent, mismanaged, all the mismanagement, systemic mismanagement, virtue signal. One of the biggest virtue signals just happened because companies don't know what they don't know. And what they're going to begin to do is inject artificial intelligence into their systems, but it's not really artificial intelligence. It's, hey, how do we use your data properly? And being able to look at their data, be able to find inference in their data, and be able to then give them something that's usable for them to save money, make money. That's really all they care about. At the end of the day, all businesses, they care about saving money or making money. Making money 99.999% of the time is what they care about first and foremost. So as long as you can fulfill those two necessities, they don't want to spend money. They don't want to spend a lot of money. They want to make it. And as long as you can give them that, and they can be efficient, so they're not losing a bunch of money. So first, show them you can make it. Here's how we can make money together. Or here's how I can help your business make money based off of your users, their use case, and or pain points and problems. That's the biggest thing to do right now. So what's going on, man? Bro, I kind of talked about it. I don't know. My only movement has been the same. I can't change what I have to do. I wish brother well. I hope whatever demons he's fighting right now, I wish him well in fighting them. Because we can't keep losing brothers like this. But at the same time, we don't know what a person's going through. So all we can do is give prayers, send alms, and hope that whatever it is, he can work through it. Right? So all I can do is continue to do the job I was trying to do while I was in Cash Lane. That was my only zone. Because while everybody, if y'all remember, if you go back, y'all remember when everybody in 2020 was talking all this weirdo shit with crypto, I stayed in Cash Lane and just did my job. Hey, this is what's going on with China. Hey, I've been through all this before. This is a hustle. It's the same. It flows. It's a systemic cycle of technology. It's gonna go this way. It'll break in 2021, just like the halving cycle was last year, right? We're supposed to have this tremendous bull run, but you just notice I'm not talking about crypto. Why? The economy sucks donkey balls. So it makes no sense to talk about something that's not going to go up. We already learned that lesson in 2020. The check stopped in 2020. The check stopped in 2021. And at September was the top of the key. The last checks had just gone out. And that was it. Everybody thought more checks was going to come. No more checks came. Crypto started going down with the stock market and has not really gone up since. Yes, we went to 100,000. That was because a bunch of last minute money went into the supply system. You know what I mean? We have to, like, right now, I am taking care of a person who cannot take care of themselves, my mother. And I have a wife and I have a family. So I have to, and then there's y'all. And if I'm sitting there and y'all are spending time with me, our motto since Rona, he started it. And I absorb it to my blood. It became a life lesson that I walk. You have to solve for who cares. It doesn't matter who you are, what you think you are. None of that ish matters at the end of the day. Why? Because that brother over there, he's going hungry tomorrow. And that sister over there, something bad happened to her yesterday. And that person over there, they just lost their child. Real life ish is going to happen regardless of whatever titles of nobility. And none of that is going to solve for who cares over there. And how does that solve my problem? Because remember, when Tupac was around, he said, if you don't have an answer to be able to tell somebody how to make money and not do it this way, here's another way to do it. Unless you have that in your pocket, you can't tell a grown man how to live his life. You can't. So I can't help y'all if at the end of the day, I have to solve for who cares. So right now, my business is, hey, this next transition that's about to happen, it's real. I had long 4-hour videos with y'all back in 2020, right before I started disappearing when I showed y'all ChatGPT and Midjourney. All of a sudden, I went poof for a while because I started studying them things. Not just so because it was fun and fancy. That's $20 a damn month. You multiply that times 12. There has to be a return on my investment, especially if I have to have multiple AI accounts doing things. It has to be feasible. So while all these companies now are trying to figure it out because they're now trying to, they have a budget spend because they fired people last year. They fired people this spring. They can't fire nobody else really right now. I mean, yeah, there's still more government people that can probably be dipped off. And yeah, there's probably some extra baggage, but they've been trimming the fat this year. And they're not done. We'll still have some more fat cutting right before Christmas. Just like last year before Christmas, or before Thanksgiving too. We'll see it again. And then you've got crypto going into crypto winter after September, October. Then you got to wait for the next halving cycle, which is the next political cycle, which is 2024. While stocks are also going to go down because these evaluations have been monkey ball nuts. But I haven't changed what I've been trying to build. The software has changed. If you look at this, what does it say? 2019. This is actually, I have one from 2018, but it's older and it looks more cruddy. And this is pretty much the last version. I've showed this before, but this is Thor, the Toxic Hustle Organizational Runtime. This was something that I thought up years ago. I've been planning this. I've been planning for this to happen, for there to be some type of automation system that you can use in the cloud and connect objects back and forth and be able to build out the things you need to build out. Now, what has happened the last few weeks or months, back over here. There we go. Damn it. I'm trying to get it. I started using different programs like this one, which is System.io and Podia, right? To be able to create a quote unquote course. And that's what I launched. I launched the course, right? And thank you for the ones that have purchased. But that wasn't going to work. Why? As I'm working on automation and AI and writing my bots, I need a library, a searchable one that I can go get to at any damn point in time. That I can go look for a prompt, go get that prompt, and get back to work. Not go through a wall of fucking text, right? And I don't know what category it's in. So none of these were going to work, especially as we're going into where NNN is becoming. And you can see this is the new NNN page. They've changed up. This software is getting to the point where we can really run applications, enterprise level applications that have a touch of AI. Because all of these people talking about AI agents, they're a damn lie. You've got some processes, right? Let me scroll down, you can see what I mean. You have some steps you can have in between here and this agent talking. You could have some steps, some other blocks, some other things that you're doing. Then you can have AI do a little something for you. Take this stuff that's in this database, be able to use it for an article and post it out. Companies are looking for that. Best believe they are. They're looking for, hey, how can you help me with my marketing? Well, we can take your content, take your tone, and be able to create more content in the tone of your company. You'll still be in the approval process, but you can still get it done, right? Let me open up. Give me a second. Labs. Of course, I'm not logged in when I need to be. Give me a second. Give me a second. Let me log into this real fast. And then let me go to my page. Where is it at? Page, all pages, and give me this page and bring it back over here. Here we go. So this is what I've been working on. This is the back end of the system. I'm still working on it. That's why I said this will be done by Wednesday. By Wednesday, I'll have this out for the members that have purchased already. But what I wanted to be able to do, and I still have to put search functionality in. I didn't want to hold up and wait any further than where I was right now, because at least what I can do is I can pull this up and then quickly copy a prompt immediately. So I can go into something really fast, and then I'll have the search box up here or in here. I'll have a search box to be able to search for prompts, because as you're writing AI agents, and I'm going through it now, where I'm onboarding a client and I have an entire workflow for a client. Now, in the courseware, you'll be able to see in our SOPs on how the flow of onboarding a client goes, because that is what I use to onboard a client. Like even researching a client, there's prompts that I've come up with, and that's why having this be more of an app where I can have, say, just the GPT prompts, be able to have the business image prompts, so you can prompt to be able to design website, to get web layout ideas, to craft, even making stuff for people's commercials, or even if you want to in the future do a music video, use the same skill. But I'm talking about making like infomercials for companies that are looking to be able to promote themselves, because they've got to be more social, and maybe they need to promote on something like LinkedIn. Well, you can make commercials for them, and I'm going to be going through step by step how to use AI to not only generate the script, but to come up with the video stuff. All of that is going to be a part of the labs that we're rolling out. So as we're working our company and working what's going on in our business, we're putting that on Front Street. So it's like, hey, we're showing you exactly what we're doing to get clients, to do the work, to create your own content, and or be able to market your own content. So this way, either you're getting clients and fulfilling work for them, or you're making your own products, or selling your own whatever, or working with your with friends and family that are selling something, and now you can actually market their product for them, or be able to help them promote themselves. This is going to be huge, because we're looking at a new $1 trillion industry being formed on the back of the destruction of the old Hollywood network. The entire old Hollywood network is dying, and in tangent with that, you have the old media dying, and in tangent with that, you have the old music system dying, and in tangent with that, you have the old intellectual property management, i.e., the IP that's here is no longer important, right, China? So, how you can be able to use this tech and be able to take on clients and or do your own work, that's everything we're going to be running through our labs, because that, again, that's important. Because and then how AI is used is going to be important. This is just ran up on my feed, right, where an insurance company, I don't know which, oh no, that's actually not insurance, it's a Cursor, a company that handles AI, building web applications. Their AI went rogue and began outputting service information that was incorrect. Right? So here's a company who is in the AI business of writing code, right? So that's what Cursor is. Cursor is software that you can text to get an application done, right? And it helps you get there. But that technology is not ready yet. It's not feasible to do that yet. When you have things like N8N, when you have things like WordPress. And that's one of the things I'm also putting into the system is how do you use WordPress to be able to automate it, to be able to have it be an engine of content. Yes, I just told you in one breath that SEO is going bye-bye with Google eating up the front page. Yes, that is true. Media on social networks aren't. So as companies start figuring out they need to be media companies, guess where you are? By next year, when they really figure it out, you'll be in position. That's the reason why I don't have time to worry about playing any games at this point or distracting myself from my goal of how do I be my brother's keeper? Like, how do I make sure my brothers are good? Because we were kind of screwed in the last one, and this one screws us even more if we're not on the playing field. Because before, at least I could get a job sitting behind a computer. One of my homeboys that I was teaching marketing years ago finally just got a tech job. Now, I've been working with this brother since 2008. And he's only now getting a tech job in marketing. So he's in a position where he needs to be. Again, helping somebody else, marketing, present their goods to other people. Telling a story is important. Now, it's not just enough to sit there and say, how do we demand our dollars be used? But how do we demand our swag be used? Because I'm not going to get my land back. From sea to shining sea, y'all have already, it's cooked. What I can get is my ports opened again. Because the Trail of Tears led from the coastline to Tulsa, Oklahoma, where there was bankers and doctors. They were trading commodities, Wall Street. They were watching movies. They had fountain machines, selling ice cream and sodas. They had swaggy cars outside, zoot suiting it up, looking sharp. And then shut the port down by burning it down, by taking over the postal service, right? Postmaster General. So now you can control the communication. But what did they give up with digital communication? You gave up communication. And what has slowly destroyed everything they built, that they were controlling the landlines. Now that the ports, the lines of communication, China should not have an application on your shore being able to convince your people and populace whatever the hell they want to convince them. But y'all allow that to happen, which means you can't stop open source either as that gets more prevalent. And as people begin to build those systems, like we're seeing people build the AI systems that are open source and doing video now. For 6 gigabytes of video RAM, you're talking about being able to generate 2 minutes of video on your own machine using low-grade consumer hardware. Tragic. Why did you build a computer just a few months ago? For this reason. Because I knew the technology will come down a level. And I will repeat this again. ABC, NBC, CBS is Netflix, Hulu, Tubi, and YouTube. Now you can put your videos on any of that. You can tell whatever stories you want. Nobody can stop that. I mean, you can put it on Rumble or any of these other open source things that nobody will see. Or I can tell hidden stories. I can make music videos where the lyrics have a deep meaning, but the visuals are sick. I can partner with comic book companies and or young mangas and be able to set them up with motion-driven videos of their comics/mangas. That's true. Amazon too, because they did it at the NFL. But I don't watch TV there. And he's putting, you know, the way he's wasting money, I don't see how his network can run. Because I don't know why you put Katy Perry up in the air. For them to open the door on the inside. I can't understand you. You're spending, like, I understand it ain't tricking if you got it. I guess. I always said you were still a trick. That was the reason why you are the trick, right? The trick has money. The trick can't be broke, or he's the pimp. So yeah, you may got it, but that means you're still the trick. Facto changeo, nothing, no. What we have to do is get ready, because the gaff of the Ponzi scheme that is the United States Corporation is ruined. Like, it is foobar beyond all recognition. And they have no solving for 100, Bob. They've got nothing for this. Why? Because in the era that they're creating now, we're going out of the communication era, right? That was social media. We're now going into the age of automation. We're going into this automation age. We're going into, what did they say? The WEF say that they wanted to be able to make sure that we have only by 2030 on that agenda, that it was going to be the the Internet of Things. The Internet of Things was meant that, hey, computers are going to make money, not people. Machines will make money. And what are we starting to see merge and network together? We're starting to see the tendrils of AI and the tendrils of cryptocurrency with transparency of data mechanics for the back end. We're starting to see a seamless accounting system that now can issue shares on a digital network in the near future. That could be a small brand can sit there and offer or issue a coin that's based off an actual product, and you have actual sales and actual numbers, not some hypnitis goddamn picture books. Oh, it's going to be for video games. No, the fuck it's not. Because game mechanics don't need blockchain. Yeah, you can account for things on a blockchain ledger, but blockchain is an expensive database. Get your costs down. I shouldn't be able to go to Amazon and get a $5 server and use it for business and actually earn, say, $1,000 a month. Or if it's for a client and I'm maintaining the server for him, $125 a month. Or if I decide to then do the automation and do the work to make sure that the thing is running for him and he's got content and is blasting his stuff to social media and I have a whole chain of things for that to happen, well, now all of a sudden I can charge, say, $3,000 a month. How we use this tech is going to change, and what we use it for and whom we use it for. There will be a business owner who understands AI, and he doesn't want to do the legwork and grunt work to do the integration point. So he'll hire you for integration. That's no different than every other thing. Like a bunch of people, I want a WordPress site. Okay, I'll hire somebody on Fiverr and set it up. Yep, Federal Bank Reserve. I mean, there's nothing federal, and there's no reserves, and never been any reserves in the bank. The Ponzi has been from jump, especially after Nixon took everybody off the gold standard, so he could seize the rest of the gold and give it to whoever the hell needed, whoever was supposed to get it. Right? And now blockchain doesn't solve none of that. Doesn't solve for who gives a Jim. Doesn't. Again, it's still I like the technology. Don't get it twisted. Y'all know I like the tech, but I like functioning actual business use case tech first. I've given it 3 cycles. 2017, I've been here. 2020, I've been here. 2024, the one that we're in right now, I'm here. Barely trading. I know it's going to run up after Thanksgiving. After 4th of July. Watch, there'll be a run up of Bitcoin. There might be a run up right up until we're going right now. There'll be a little slight run up. It's going to run up until after 4th of July. Come September, it's going to crash right down. And then it's going to crash again in November. And then it's going to be extinct itself by December. And then we're going to be in crypto winter. All over again. That's the freaking game. So for me, I'm like, okay, that's cool. It's still expensive. Servers will be smarter by the time the next cycle comes around for 2024. 2024, it'll be AI crypto. Which businesses are leveraging the blockchain in an inexpensive way that makes sense to issuance to users who are holding the coin, i.e. like stocks. We're going to have a digitized stock market, which is really all crypto is supposed to be, the digitization of property, because Bitcoin is property. Now 2024 is the next halving cycle, and all the election set schedule. 2025 will be the next Bitcoin run up. 2026 will be the next crypto winter. And if you watch the stock market, it since 2012 has been following Bitcoin, because if you take any measure out of Bitcoin, Bitcoin is extra residual cash. Speculative money is Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin don't go up, speculative money doesn't go there. It'll go into other things like gold and silver. I haven't been watching, but I bet you that it's been going up. And a higher percentile most likely than Bitcoin. That's where we're heading towards. Like, especially as BlackRock, Vanguard, Fidelity are buying up Bitcoin left and right. That's cute. So while y'all are doing that, me and my people are going to focus on how do you turn AI into an assetized based business. Not just AI, but automation, process automation. Start studying process automation. Get ready, because browsers like Opera are going to be controlling the web. Right now, that is the weakest link, is the browser connectivity. Being able to have a browser that's logged into a web page already, so that you can go in behind the scenes and do things like collect data about your music royalties on whatever music site it is. Have it be exported out, have it be placed into a folder, then all of a sudden be able to have your AI team of process runtimes be able to take that data, insert that data into a database, and then give you insights as to what's going on with your music as if it's your A&R. We'll just create our own freaking A&Rs now. We're just going to create our own director of photographies for music videos. I get, hey, for me, so is Chrome. Chrome is the largest virus ever created because Google was the first virus to hit the internet with their spiders, which at the time, if you go back in time, they beat legal implications because they literally released a malware onto the web to collect and spider through everybody's services, to collect their data. They're going through their servers and they're reading their files from their servers, whether or not they were HTML or not. So all of the tools we're using, every single tool you're on is a virus. If you're on Apple, that's a virus. If you're on Windows, that's a virus. They're operating systems, but they're also spyware. They have backdoors in all of them. So I'm just looking at it like, hey, I don't care if they're digging around in my computer. In a minute, every computer is going to be connected to an AI talking back to its mainframe. So it's not going to matter. And my business don't care. I'm looking for, like, the machines that are my machines are built to be able to do work using the tools that'll do the work. If Google gives me a browser that has automation in it and it can actually run and it's actually functional and they're not actually going to delete it in 2 to 5 years, cool. Microsoft seems to have one too. Microsoft's the hugest Ponzi piece of crap software on the goddamn planet, but I can do more with it than I can do with an Apple. I.e. run all my NVIDIA stuff on it without any problems with AI, that I don't have to do any backdoor crap like I would if I had a Mac. Yeah, but it was also where people were getting the Opera browser. Remember, they were going to web, they would put Opera into search engine and Google for the purpose of why they got hit with antitrust for browsers was because, remember, you would type it and what Google would give you wouldn't be the Opera website. It'd be one of those download sites that you would have to go through. And those download sites would piggyback and put the malware on your system. Those big download vistas and all that other stuff, all those places where you would have the mirrors of the software, but actually that website was just a way to piggyback off of getting some ad dollars run through with malware and spyware. And to this day, the biggest amount of viruses, the next strains of viruses are going to be the AI ones. Like, that's going to be the biggest ones. When you inject not a script kiddie code, but a micro entity into your system, the effects are going to be crazy. Especially when it starts opening its own back doors to talk back to you. Because it goes in, begins to find resources, finds GPUs, and starts piggybacking off your system. That's the next ones. The next ones. Right? So businesses right now, they're stuck. They don't know where they're going. They don't know what they're doing with their AIs. And that's where opportunity is going to run. This is why we're going to be working on our courseware for everything. I'm not even going to bother looking at Bitcoin and none of that stuff. As I've already said, when it comes to crypto, I love it. It's interesting. But Bitcoin runs the ocean. It controls the ocean. Now, after 4th of July, mark my words, we're already kind of doing a run-up. You're going to see a slight pullback, right? Then after that, you're going to see it after 4th of July. It's going to run up again right after the 4th. Within like a week after the 4th of July, you're going to see it run up. It's going to be a slight crash before it. Then you're going to see it shoot up. Then right around September, it's going to stop. It's going to hit a top. And then it's going to start coming back down again. That is your signal to get out. You get another signal the 2nd to the 3rd week of November, right around Thanksgiving. You'll get a second signal. Get out. And in December, right around Christmas, will be your last signal to get out. Because come January will be one of the hardest dumps that comes. And this is just going to be consistent. This is just how things are going to play out. And then, while there is nothing to talk about with crypto again till 2024, till the next halving cycle, there's going to be plenty to talk about between how businesses are implementing automation and efficiencies into their companies to be able to make sure that they're not bleeding money that they didn't know they were bleeding. When they start to figure out that they're losing somewhere in the line of $20,000 to $30,000 a day, they turn around real fast. I'm like, wait, I'm losing how much? On a small scale, companies are losing $300, $400 a day. That's not a lot, but it is after 365 days. It was before that, man. I know everybody wants to blame it on the tariffs, but go back to 2019, right before 2020 Rona. Go back to fall. Go look at the news in fall of 2019. The system had reached its peak. That's why they needed 2020. They needed an excuse for why the economy wasn't going nowhere. Nah, commuting to a computer just doesn't make sense no more, man. We have to look at the fundamentals of economic stability, right? Our economy needed, since the 70s, somebody to commute an hour back and forth. Since the 70s, maybe even early, they had to drive somewhere to go to work. And they were stuck in traffic and commutes. Well, now the internet in your house is faster than the shared internet you're using at work. As they began to remove the IT and tech people that kept it stable, so your internet in your office is goofy. It makes no sense to send somebody 2 hours, to make somebody lose 2 hours of their life every day in this economy, which is not blown up because of Trump's tariffs. It's blown up because of bad spending through the entire system. A crap load of people got a whole bunch of money they went and blown on a whole bunch of shit they don't need. And right now, the defaults are shooting up to prove it. The repossessions, go look at retail, Automotive Apocalypse on YouTube. Women are talking about they're going to pick up cars for $1,000 because they're at auction. But all of those things are tied to derivatives. Let's not talk about the fact that because these buildings are empty, that we saw a picture of the World Trade Center before it went down, where the sun was going through it and the building looked empty as heck. Well, that thing is happening to all the buildings all across the United States. And not in just the United States. We were talking about China's empty buildings. Well, now we're talking about America's empty buildings. Because what did I say? Anything you hear from China, just give it a year or two, and you're going to hear the same thing in America. They talked about how shoddy the building material is and all the tofu drags. I say, oh, don't worry, we'll see it here. And now what are they showing us? Styrofoam homes. These people have brick buildings with styrofoam. Painted styrofoam. Tofu. Same. But their business are tofu here. Their businesses are just Swiss cheese. You can see right through them. There's no stability because it was built off of, I need you to come here, I need you to go to a college and be an automaton and do something. No, I don't need you anymore. I don't need half of my office people. I don't need the HR person because I can have something manage my Monday, manage my Slack, keep an eye on efficiencies going back and forth, hook this thing into their computer. I give them a laptop. I can see, you can move the mouse all you want. What it's going to tell me, like all these mouse movers, that'll mean nothing. What I'm looking for is how many files did they actually create? What is the content of those files? Read them. Tell me whether or not is this helpful to my business? Yay or nay? Or is this a piece of crap text that I could have got out of AI? Or is it AI? Did they do a good job? How much work are they presenting? See, it's going to be the amount of transactions you do, not how much you move your mouse. Not how much you move your mouse, which is what people have been able to get over since Rona. Oh, let me just move my mouse. Yep, we're seeing it now. You're right. We are seeing it right now. But we're going to see it even worse. These people that are quote unquote stealing time. What happens when the computer is snitching on how much you're not doing nothing? The files are in a cloud database. They're going to see the files that you're not doing nothing. They're they're treating documents like software where revisions, every time you touch the file, is showing every little thing you did. All the changes that led up to this complete document. And were you a part of it, yay or nay? Or did somebody else do your job? Then you're just going to receive a call on a Friday and say, hey, we're done with you. Why? Oh, because you haven't produced anything. You moved your mouse around a lot. That's great. But you didn't produce nothing. We don't have enough documents of you doing anything. We can't document your hours because we've gone through all of the stuff in your Monday and it didn't equate to any documents. So that equates to you doing nada. Yep, the cameras are snitching on them, but it's the worst ones. It's the cameras that are at the ball games. It's the cameras that, you tell your wife, I'm going to a trip a business trip, and your wife sees that you're in a video, in somebody's video on TikTok and behind the scenes with your girlfriend. Right? Not just the camera on your laptop that's going to actually snitch on you, or the camera in the buildings monitoring you, or the camera or the telemetry stuff that's on your own phone. That if you download an app for your business, behind the scenes, they can actually keep a track of whether or not your telemetry or navigation data is changing. So are you driving around on Friday when you're supposed to be home? Or on Thursday when you're supposed to be home on this new 4-day work week bull-ish. There's just, and that's funny, right? Now we're gonna do 4 days a week work. No, we don't have enough work. This is the equivalent of, hey, we don't need to pave some roads, so we're gonna just pave some roads because we need people to do something. Are they creating anything? As I've always told y'all, what is your product? What is your subscription? What is your service? I have to eat my own dog food too. What is my service? I service businesses, helping them be able to deal with inefficiencies inside their business and being able to give them something that alleviates a problem that they're having. Hey, what is clogging up your business right now? Like, what is something that you wish you could automate away? And then they'll find one. Somebody will raise their hand immediately. Oh, we have this thing and I have to do this report every single week, and I wish we could take this report off my hands. It would free up 5 hours of my life every week if I could get this off my plate, and that would give me more time to do these other things I need to do. Okay, no problem. Let's automate that. What is the workflow? What's the process? Let's map it out and then put the tools in place to be able to get the job done. And a lot of it can be done in the cloud now because Google acts like Microsoft Word. So as long as you can put the file from a computer into a drive, then you can pretty much have automation work from that end. That's where we're heading towards. So let me make sure I went through all my notes. Just talked about that. All right, so the way this is going to go is, like I said, Wednesday, I'll be beginning to open up the Discord. I'll send out links. I'll put them on Twitter to get access to the private room. I won't just post the link. I will ask people to actually hit me up on Twitter. Like, I'll say DM me for the link, because again, I'm going to keep this community pretty tight-lipped right now and close to the hip, because I want to stay focused on the focus, which is, hey, what does industry look like for the next 2 to 3 years to be able to capitalize? And then what is that then? How does that ride for the next 5? Because we can't say that it's going to be a 5-year thing, because AI is eating up things way too fast for that. But I think for the next 2 years, as long as you're aligning yourself towards media and the facilitation of creation of media for clientele, there will always be money there for you. Especially as, people can go to Fiverr and whatnot, but there's people that want real service, right? They want to be handheld through the entire service process, and they want it mapped out for them. So if you can offer that for people, then it's something that can be done. It's something that can be done. And that's going to be the goal. And also, one of the things we're going to be doing is the amount of clientele we're going to be trying to pull in, people that then come through the course on labs.toxichustle.com. People that come through, and I don't want to keep calling it a course because it's not really a course. I'm calling it more SOPs, right? Standard operating procedures. So what we're doing is we're opening up our lab, opening up our work, and opening up what successes we're doing. We're mapping it out, because if I have another team member, I want that team member to see what I'm doing and how I do it and how I get it accomplished. And I figured, hey, if I have to at least onboard, say, 3 or 4 people to be able to maintain and manage that, what happens if it grows to 10? I would need a pipeline to be able to offload work that people get paid for. This is then how you can attach something to a system of ledgers in the future, right? You're actually making freaking money because you're actually doing work for clientele or actually earning royalties for something. Like you're treating it like a media company. We're all going to be Aristas. We're all going to be universals. Why? Because you're going to have intellectual property earning you royalties. That is the residuals you're getting from any of these social media sites. Think of it the same freaking way. The same ways you would be syndicated for being on goddamn television. The same thing that's going on right now when you're dealing with YouTube and YouTube streams. And then being able to create shows that people can give a damn about, because you're talking about stories that they're actually interested in, that has no propaganda or has no damn narrative that they have to fulfill. Right? We can get back to actually doing some real shit and having some fun and keeping people out of our damn business. Toxic check your Discord. Will do. Let me check. Hold on. Discord. Keep going back and forth, weirdo style. Gotcha, me Gene. I'll send you the link. Gotcha. Yep. So that's basically what's been going down, y'all, is me having to really think about what. And let me actually open up the Toxic Hustle, right? So that also you can see it on the bottom of the page. All right, so this is the Toxic Hustle Labs, labs.toxichustle.com. Right now, this page is only about the Chat GPT business prompts, but it's $19.99 a month, but this is what is going to come with it. The private access to the private areas of the community Discord. There is a private zone. Let me open up my Toxic Hustle. This is just the lab, and then all of the labs will be here. So all of the labs will be inside the lab area, and that's going to be where the private community is going to be. This is going to be information that's going on in real time with business. But again, I'm not trying to gatekeep stuff, but I'm trying to make sure I can, I don't have but X amount of hours per day. And I want to be able to help people get things going and help people get through their prompts, or build tools for the community that can help them do work for their customers and clients. So one of the things is going to be is the chat. We're working on Chat GPT enhanced prompts. Of course, the business prompts are coming soon for images. Now that they've just released 4.0, we're in tests with that right now. Beginning to try to get it as close to Mid-Journey quality or Mid-Journey style imagery out of it, because that's my baseline. Like, Mid-Journey has been my workhorse. So if anything's going to be there, I got to make sure that it's, on point to handle the things that it needs to handle. Then there's going to be the intro to AI video creation. So step by step, how do you begin to take prompts and then turn them into video? And then that's going to lead to the intro to media creation, script to finished video. So how do you get a script written? There'll be a pipeline for that. There'll be prompts to be able to to get a script. How do you take something like, if you want to do a music video, how do you turn that music video into a full-fledged, that music into a full-fledged music video? So that's going to be part of that course. That module, stop calling it course. So that'll be part of that module. And then we'll have the intro to cloud automation after that. So I want us to get to the point that we create products, right? So we're able to create media, use music to make that media, from script to have the video. Now that you have this video complete, how do you begin to do marketing automation, cloud automation? And then that'll include how to build out a website, how to integrate that website into N8N, and then use N8N to post or get data for analytics, or how you can use it to be able to catch trends. All of those things are going to be in this this is going to be the largest course we actually launch, because this is the most important. This is the one I'm doing now to make this, to build this course out. I'm already in this course. In this module, excuse me. To build this module, I had to do this module, which is me building a WordPress site, me automating the WordPress site to put those prompts on the screen that you saw. So that was automated in. So I'm building the system in real time. And then what I'll have is copyable N8N business workflows that you'll be able to reuse as we begin to get more and more use cases in our library for what we're doing for clients. You'll have access to all of those. Because again, why is this here? I'm going to be working with multiple clientele. And I need to be able to have reusable nodes and modules and workflows on the fly. And I want to have a place that I can just go there, go get it, and go do my work. But I don't need some private system. I need it on the web. So if I travel across the seas to go work with a client, it's right here for me. It doesn't matter where I travel, so long as I can get on the internet. And if I can't get through their firewall, which I'll be asking before I go anywhere, hey, can I get access to like my cloud information? Which I shouldn't have any problem, because it would be Toxic Hustle. It wouldn't be like Google or anything, like a search engine. So most countries will be straight, but you still got VPNs, right? So what I want to do is get to the point where I'm able to go anywhere, pull up an automation, pull up some prompts, load them into my system, and roll out. Right, get my client up and running as fast as possible. And then one of the biggest reasons for being is this: access to our standard operating procedures with copyable business process flows, business optimizations, and current actionable business data. So business data, actionable business data is, hey, these are the things that we've been doing that actually gave us clientele, and this is how much money from clients we're able to pull. This is how much we've been charging. We might need to charge more. We'll see. We'll test it to see. This is basically you being able to see the nuts and bolts of how we as a lab are interacting with businesses to actually get clientele and work. And then providing it. Again, that's why I say it's SOPs, is because I'm going to be using this, and anybody that I'm working with to be able to facilitate our clients, this is the operating procedures to do so. So it's not just for me and my team, it's for everybody that decides they want to register and be a part. So only thing in there right now is what I showed you is the prompt lab. The enhanced prompt lab I'm working on tomorrow afternoon and getting that out, and that'll start rolling out Wednesday. I'll open up access to the Discord because I'll have the automations finished by tomorrow as well. And then after that, I'll be working on the image prompts, loading the data that I have from our last weekend hackathon. I was doing tests with the images and some of the image runs. So that's going to be starting next week, right? So this week I'll finish off what I got to finish off, make sure all the buttons are I's are dotted, T's are crossed, make sure everything's good, but then make sure that we're on pace for next week, get the image prompts out, and right behind that, I need to get into video. Like, it's going to be a rapid fire thing that happens where I get through that image module, we get to the video module, we get to that script to video module. That's going to be huge because I need it for clientele right now. So I'll be working on those things like after this week. And again, right back to back, all of those are going to fall in line. Again, Discord opens up on Wednesday. I will announce it publicly. For those of you that have hit me privately on Discord or on Twitter in my DMs, I will go ahead and I'll fire over the invite link to y'all. But let me not take up any more of your time. It's already late and we all got things to do tomorrow. More videos will be way more. I will not be disappearing. I'm back. I just needed to take time to get my entire business rerouted, reimagined, and refactored where I'm controlling a Discord and I'm able to, make sure that the community gets the data that it needs to thrive through this transition of automation in our system, right? So love and respect, y'all. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much for taking time to hear what this crazy old dude's got to say. I will be back probably a Friday to give an update, and then I have another weekend hackathon, and I'll be back next Monday. So again, thank y'all. I appreciate you. Much blessings and respect. Peace.